Hi there, grade 9s, and welcome to our next lesson in the series Relations and Functions, or Functions and Relations. Okay, hope you're all well today, and I hope you're looking forward to this lesson. There's some exciting stuff I'm going to share with you today. Right, as you can see, it's our lesson 2 in Functions and Relations. Let's have a look what it holds for us. Okay, I found another way for you to work out the formula. Okay, this is actually the way to work out the formula. The way that we did it in the last lesson is absolutely correct, but that is when our x values are in sequence and they follow on from one another exactly. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, things like that, numbers like that. But today we're going to look at what we do when numbers are not necessarily in sequence. So let's have a look here. Okay, we looked at this table in the last lesson as well, and we looked at how to work out the formula because, as you can see, the x values are in sequence. They follow on from one another exactly. So we can count minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, and 2. And then they have corresponding y values that go with them. So as we looked in the last lesson, you add 3 from the one y value to the next y value, and you add 3 again, and you add 3 again, and you add 3 again. Okay, so that told us that it was 3 times x, which was 3x. And then we looked at, because the x values were in sequence, we looked at what the difference was between the x and the y, and we came up with minus 2, and then what we did is we added the difference. Okay, and we got formula is equal to y is equal to x times 3 plus 2, which y is equal to 3x plus 2. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's very handy when the x values are in sequence. What happens if they're not? Let's have a look with this example how we can work out the formula in another way. And this applies to a sequential form of x or non-sequential form. Okay, let's have a look. We can use the structure y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, you're probably thinking, what on earth does that all mean? Okay, your y is obviously your y value, your x is your x value, the m would be the constant that goes with x, and then plus another constant. Okay, so look at the change in the y, it's 3. Okay, then what we do is we look at the change in the x, it's 1. So now instead of going between the y and the x, we go from x to x. Can you see? We're adding on 1 each time, like we're adding on 3 each time here. So we're adding on 1. What we do then is we change the change in the y, we put over the change in the x. So the change in the y is 3, like that. We put it over the change in the x, which is 1. So we can write it like that, 3 over 1, which gives us a fraction, but we know, as we know, that anything over 1 remains the same. Okay, so that would mean that our m is 3. So we would go y is equal to 3x plus b. So now how do we work out the b? Well, we'll take a pair of numbers, a corresponding pair of numbers, we actually call them ordered pairs, and we would substitute in. Okay, so we'll plug in a pair. All right, we're going to plug in the first pair just because it comes first and it's easy to work with. Okay, you can see here, minus 4 is equal to 3 times minus 2 plus b. Okay, we're going to work it out. 3 times minus 2 will give me minus 6. Minus 4 is equal to minus 6 plus b. What do we do with that minus 6? We take it across the equal sign and we add on 6. Minus 4 plus 6 is equal to b. And that will give me that b is equal to 2. And can you see that that formula is the same as that formula? Because 2 is equal to b, we've already worked out that y is equal 3x plus b. So our formula is y is equal 3x plus 2. Okay, same as what we worked out in the previous lesson. As I said to you just now, this is easy to work it this way and this way if these numbers are in sequence. Okay, when they are not in sequence, then it is very easy to work it out this way, and that's what we're going to concentrate on today. Because I'm sure you've seen tables like this that are not in sequence and you think, I don't even know where to start to look for the formula. Okay, so now you know you can use y is equal to mx plus b. Right, let's try it for another one. Okay, again, let's use the structure y is equal to mx plus b. Here is our table. Can you see it's not in sequence? -6, -3, 0, 3, 5. Okay, it goes up, it increases in value, but it's not in direct sequence. So it's not -6, -5, -4. Okay, it goes up like that. There are gaps, in other words, between our x values. Okay, so what do? We first look for the m, so we look at the change in the y values over the change in the x values. Okay, the change in the y values is -15. Okay, so each time, if you have a look, you are subtracting 15, subtracting 15, subtracting 15, subtracting 15. So that has remained the same. Okay, you put the change in the y values over the change in the x values, and the change in the x values is 3. Okay, so we are adding on 3 this time. Here we are subtracting 15, so we must make sure we have that subtraction sign, the minus sign in front of it, the 15. It's important, you will see just now why. And then the x value, we are increasing by 3 each time. So the difference in the y value is -15 over the difference in the x value, which is 3. So we write it like that, -15 over 3. If we simplify that, it's -5. So for our m, we're going to have y equals -5x plus b. What do we do to find the b? We're going to plug in a pair. Okay, we're going to use our first pair. We're going to plug in y as being 38 equals -5 times -6, because -6 is the x, plus b. Right? Let's carry on working that out. -5 times -6 gives me 30. We've got 38 equals 30 plus b. We take the 30 across, so it's 38 minus 30 equals b, and 8 is equal to b. Okay, so we have y is equal to 5x plus, minus 5x plus 8. So now we need to test it. Okay, so what are we going to do to test it? We can choose any other pair. And we've chosen the -3 and the 23. All right, so here we need to work out what y is if we plug in -3. Okay, so that will be 15, because -5 times 3 is equal to 15. 15 plus 8 is going to give me 23. It's absolutely correct because my y value in the table is 23. If you wanted to plug it in, you would do the same thing here. You would plug it in, 23 equals 23 equals, if 23 equals 23, it's absolutely correct. Let's try this one. Okay, here we've got it again. Can you see our numbers are not in sequence? Right, we're going to work out the formula using y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, again, can you see that to go from 7 to -7, we are minusing 14. To go from -7 to -42, we are minusing 35. You're going to go, oh, that doesn't work. -42 to 35, we get 77. But the same thing we're going to do with x. From 0 to -2, we're subtracting 2. From -2 to -7, we're subtracting 5. From -7 to +4, it's 11. Okay? That means that each time we simplify this, the answer is going to be 7. So we can say 7x plus b. Can you see? If you go -14 over -2, it's going to give me 7. -35 over -5, it's going to give me 7. 77 over 11 is going to give me 7. So my m value is 7. So I've got y is equal to 7x plus b. And now I'm going to plug in. I'm going to plug in a pair. All right? We can use this pair if we want to. It doesn't have to be the first pair, so I wanted to show you by using any pair. So my y value is -42. My x value is -7. So what I would do is I would multiply that out, and I'm going to get -42 is equal to -49 plus b. I'm going to take the minus 49 across the equals, and I'm going to add it on to the minus 42, and that's going to give me b, and 7 is b. So your formula is y is equal to 7x plus 7. Right, test it. Let's add it into another one. Let's use this one here. Make sure that it works for this one. Again, I've put 35 in this time for my y, and I have substituted in the 4. So we're going to calculate it out. 35 stays as 35. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 7 is 35. Okay, so my right hand side and my left hand side are the same, and that means that my formula is correct. Okay, let's try another one. You can try this one on your own if you like. So what I'd like you to do then is to pause the video, try and work it out with your y is equal to mx plus b. See if you come out with the right answer, and we can go over it. Right, let's see how you did. Work out the formula using y is equal to mx plus b. Remember what we need to do. We need to find the difference between all the y values, and then the difference between all the x values. Okay, so what we will do is we will go 33, because from 20 to minus 13 is 33. It's minus 33 actually, over minus 11, going from 5 to minus 6. From minus 13 to 5 is going to give me 18, okay? And this time it's plus 18. And from minus 6 to 0, we're going to add on 6. Okay, the same thing here. 5 to minus 19, we're going to subtract minus 24. And then from 0 to minus 8, we're going to minus 8. Can you see how these are not in sequence at all? We go positive, negative, 0, which is positive, negative, positive. Okay, the same with our y value. So there's nothing in sequence in either of these lines in the table. And that's why using this formula is very handy. Because if we had to use it the way that we did it in the first lesson, which as I said is absolutely fine if your numbers are in sequence, but we're not going to be able to work it out that way when your numbers are not in sequence. Okay, if we divide the difference between the y over the difference between the x, please remember our numerator here is the difference between the y values. Okay, if we divide each time, each answer is going to be 3. So minus 33 divided by minus 11 gives us 3. 18 divided by 6 gives us 3. Minus 24 divided by minus 8 gives us 3. If you don't get the same answers, just double check your working. Okay, right. So we've got y is equal to 3x plus b. Okay, everybody happy with that? Okay, let's go on. Now we've got to work out b, so we've got to plug in. Okay, we're going to plug in our first set of numbers, our first ordered pair, and the y is 20 and the x is 5. Okay, so we are then going to multiply 3 times 5, and we're going to end up with 15. We then are going to take the 15 across the equal sign, say 20 minus 15 is going to give me my b value, and that's going to be b is equal to 5. So what is your formula going to be? It's going to be y is equal to 3x plus 5. Okay, now we can test it. Right, so now let's use this set of ordered pairs. Your y value is minus 19. Is equal to 3 times minus 8 plus 5. Okay, your 3 and your 5 are going to stay the same every single time you plug in. Your variables are going to change. So your y and your x are your variables, and they are going to change. Okay, so we got minus 19 is equal to minus 24 plus 5. Let's take, we can work out this side. Minus 24 plus 5 is going to give me minus 19. It's the same on both sides. So your formula is correct. Right, now work out unknown values. So up until now, we've just been working with the formula. We've been trying to create the formula using y is equal to mx plus b. Now remember in our last lesson, we worked out the formula in each case, and then we went on to working out unknown values in the table. So let's have a look. Here we've got a table. There's our a and there's our b, which are unknown values. So we first got to start with working out the formula. So as it says here, number 1 is work out the formula. Number 2 is work out the values for A and B. So we're going to use y is equal to mx plus b straight away because we need our formula. We cannot start working out what A and B is if we do not have the formula. Okay, so our difference between minus 15 and minus 69, we are minusing 54. From minus 1 to minus 7, we are minusing 6. Then from 69 to 48, it's 117 difference, plus 117 to 69 to minus 69 to get 48. And from minus 7 to 6, we are adding on 13. Okay, from 48 to 3, it's going to give me 45. We're going to subtract 45. And from 6 to 1, we are going to subtract 5. So those two should be negatives. But as long as they're both the same, it should work out. Okay, because we are going in a negative way. All right. So the difference is each time is 9. Not the difference, sorry, the answer. Minus 54 divided by minus 6 gives me 9. 117 divided by 13, you can work it out on your calculator. It is 9. 45 divided by 5 is 9. Okay, minus 45 divided by minus 5 is 9. Same thing. All right. So y is equal to 9x plus b. So the m value is 9 as we've worked out here. All right. We then are going to plug in. Let's plug into our first set of ordered pairs. And minus 15 is equal to 9 times minus 1 plus b. Okay. We're going to end up with minus 15 is equal to minus 9 plus b. We're going to take that minus 9 across the equal sign and make it a positive 9. So minus 15 plus 9 is equal to b, and minus 6 is equal to b. So that means our b value is minus 6. So it's plus minus 6, which actually just means minus 6. So your formula is y is equal to 9x, because we got the 9 from this part, minus 6. Can you see? That's why that would change, because of your answer when you've plugged in an ordered pair to get to B. Okay, everybody happy with that? Right, now that you have your formula, you can now work out A and B. So number 2 was work out the value of A and B. Let's work out A first. Here we are given our x value as being 10. We plug that in to our formula, y is equal to 9x minus 6. We're going to get A, which is y, is equal to 9 times 10 minus 6, which is going to give me 90 minus 6, which gives me 84. So the value of A is 84 in this table. Okay, let's now work out our value of x. Our value of y is 30. We are told that. And we're going to put 9b minus 6. Remember, don't get confused with this b. It's not the same b. This is the value of b in the table. Okay, 30 minus 9b, 30 equals 9b minus 6. 30 plus 6, because we're taking this 6 across the equal sign, and it's going to be plus 6. 30 plus 6 is 36, is equal to 9b. 36 divided by 9, because now you're doing the inverse operation, and b is going to be, you got it, 4. All right, are we all happy with that? Okay, what we did is we first worked out our formula using y is equal to mx plus b. Our m is derived from the difference between our numbers in our y table line, in the row of the table, and it's over the difference in the numbers of the x row. Okay, so minus 54 minus 6, divide that, you're going to get 9. Do that more than once. You don't even have to do it the first one to the second one to the third one. You can jump around, because it should always be the same. It should always end up with the same answer. The important thing is if you do the first 2 on the y row, you must do the first 2 on the x row. Then you do 3 and 4 on the y row and 3 and 4 on the x row. So that must be corresponding. Okay. And we ended up with 9 as the m. And then we had to work out b, so we plugged in an ordered pair. We ended up with b being minus 6. We used our formula y is equal to 9x minus 6, and we plugged in, or rather we plugged in what we knew to work out a, and then we plugged in what we knew to work out b. Right, Let's see. Try this one on your own. I want you to have a look at the table. What you have to do again is work out the formula first and then work out the value of, it's not A and B, it's R and S. Sorry about that, guys. Pause the video now and you try and do it on your own, and then when we come back we'll go over everything together. All right. Right, let's have a look and see what you did. Y is equal to mx plus b. We're going to work out our differences. Now we've got 4 over 4, 18 over 18, and 4 over 4. So minus 2 to 2, we've added 4. There it is there. 5 to 9, we've added 4. There it is there. Okay, remember your top number is your y difference. Your bottom number is your x difference. So it's your change in y at the top, change in x at the bottom. Same from 2 to minus 16, it was 18. We subtracted 18 actually. From 9 to minus 9, we also subtracted 18. Okay, and then here we plus 4 and we added on 4 at the top too. So each time your answer is 1. Okay, guys, one thing that I do want to say is, yes, I should have put a minus here, but a minus and a minus gives you a positive and a positive gives you a positive. If the one is minus, it's important to put it in, and the other one is positive, it's important to keep it positive, because then your m value might be a negative. All right. So we've got y is equal to x plus b. Because m is 1, we can put 1x if you'd like, but you don't have to. You know that by now. Okay, let's plug in an ordered pair, and we're going to use our first ordered pair again. So we're going to put minus 2 for y is equal to 1 times 5 is there for x plus b, because we're trying to find out the b. Okay, minus 2 is equal to 5 plus b. We take the 5 across, and we're going to go minus 2 minus 5 is equal to b. So b is minus 7. So our formula is y is equal to x minus 7. A very straightforward formula. We're now going to work out r and s. So y is equal to x minus 7. We are going to plug in our x value because we get given that, and we're trying to work out r. So y becomes r and x is minus 1. I've just put the 1 there because it's 1x. Okay, 1x times minus 1, we're going to end up with r is equaling minus 1 minus 7, and so r is equal to minus 8. So where x is minus 1, r is minus 8, and we've completed this ordered pair. Okay, next one, y is equal to 9x minus 6, and this time we are given the y value. Okay, we now need to work out the x value. Minus 1 is equal to 1s, s there, s is the unknown, 1s minus 7. So what are we going to do? We're going to take the 7 across, we're going to make it plus 7. So minus 1 plus 7 is going to give me 6, which means that s is equal to 6. Right, everyone got it? Well done. Okay, let's do one more on your own, and then we're going to end the lesson. And you can then go and try the activity on your own. And don't forget, if there are any questions whatsoever, please email your query or your question to grade9@worksheetcloud.com. Right, let's try one more on your own. There we go. There's your table. You have to again work out the formula first and then work out the value for C and D. Okay? Right, pause the video, try it on your own. And then when you come back, we'll be going over it together. Right, let's see how you did. Okay, y is equal to mx plus b. So we first are going to look at the change in y over the change in x. And we've got there, it's 6, and there's 1, okay, plus 6 plus 1. Then it would be actually minus 12 minus 2, okay, as long as it's the same sign, there's nothing to worry about. When it's a different sign, you need to make sure you put in your minuses and pluses in the correct place. And then from 15 to 45, sorry. Yes, from 15 to minus 45 is 60, and from 2 to minus 8 is 10. So each time the answer is 6, okay? So that would be our m value. So it will be y is equal to 6 x plus b, like that. Okay, now we're going to plug in. Alright, you can plug in whichever one you like, it doesn't really matter. It's going to work out the same. But again, we've used our first ordered pair to plug in. So y is 21, x is 3. So it will be 21 is equal to 6 times 3 plus b. 21 is equal to 18 plus b. 21 minus 18 is equal to b. And so b is equal to 3. So therefore, our formula is equal to y is equal to 6x plus 3. So y equals 6x plus 3 is our formula. We can now work out the value of c and d. Okay, so that's the number 2 part of what you had to do, work out the value of c and d. Okay, y is equal to 6x plus 3. Okay, we're going to make y c because that is our unknown, and we're going to plug in the minus 6 for the x. That's our x value. So c is equal to minus 36 because 6 times minus 6 is minus 36 plus 3. C is equal to minus 33. So there we go. Where x is minus 6, y is equal to minus 33. The next one we're going to do is we're going to work out d, which is actually our x value. So here we're going to plug in our y value as being 45, as it's told us in the table, is equal to 6d because that's our unknown, plus 3. 45 minus 3, because you're taking the 3 across the equal sign, that's going to give me 42 is equal to 6d. So d is now equal to 42 plus 6, divided by 6, and that is 7 is equal to d. See, it's times here, take it across the equal sign, invert the operation, so it's 42 divided by 6, and that gives me 7. So d is equal to 7. Okay, I'm sure you've got this. As long as you know the change in the y is over the change in the x, and you use y is equal to mx plus d, I'm sure you will be absolutely fine in doing your activities. Once again, just to remind you, if you have any questions, to email grade9@worksheetcloud.com, and somebody will get back to you with an answer or an explanation. Thank you for watching the next section, or the next lesson in our section, Functions and Relations. And next time we will be going one step further with our functions and relations, and it will be the 3rd lesson. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.